Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Of course, I am really excited about the Ascension Focus this month because we are in such a powerful time of change. And for so long, Ariane has been saying, get your energy into this realm. And it truly feels like go time. Like it is ever more important that the loving ones are owning our focus, our sacred inner realm, and consciously flowing that information into the earth experience. Now, the overall energies that we're building are connection, being more connected within yourself, and then consciously connecting with life so that your flow of energy is coherent and therefore your creative harmonic is more powerful. It's more aligned with empowered love. This is how the power of love overcomes the love of power in this world. And we really need that. It happens through each of us. So it's definitely time to stop denying your creative power. And the topic this month, especially the light language, is of course going to support this beautifully. So, as we weave the overall focus of connection, our focus this month is endings and beginnings. And I've said that our topics all summer long are going to be more mentally focused so that you're strengthening your heart mind complex and you're using the infinite mind more and more, even as you're here experiencing linearity. So, for this series of topics, we're building connection with the infinite mind. And to build it, you have to blend it into this experience. So, it's merging with the linear conscious mind. Now, first, let's discuss endings and beginnings from a linear experience. And then I want to detail some ways we merge that with the nonlinear perspective. Endings and beginnings in physical experience, mostly they are blurred, meaning they don't have a specific stop start. Of course, other endings and beginnings might seem clear. For instance, when you graduate from high school, that's a specific stop where there's a day that you're no longer attending that school. Yet, of course, it has blurred endings and beginnings with it also because you are still the same person on the inside that day. There's people you'll maintain connections with. And the new beginning usually doesn't begin right at that same time. So there's always an overlap with things that are still occurring. For instance, when you were in high school, that then over time start to really shift. So we have obvious ones like birth, death, moving, a new job, a new school, relationships. Yet we are always overlapping endings and beginnings. And this is where your consciousness comes into play. So, Ariane, of course, calls our thoughts, emotions, and our intentions our subtle bridge. And subtle speaks directly to subtle. So, our subtle bridge is how we first and constantly communicate with life. So, as we're using our linear mind to take in the information of life through our experiences, conversations, our perspectives, even outside sources like news or social media, as we do that, we are creating a beginning within us. You are starting a process of ingesting life, and that creates a change. Another of Ariane's constant reminders, you never just hear or see something, it becomes part of your information. So, what change are you beginning with your focus? What process are you beginning within your body? Is it something that consumes you? Something that wears away your hope, your joy, your creativity? Or is it something that feeds you? Now, might seem that the only way to do this properly is to consume information that's perfect, but this is the physical realm. We're all diverse. So what inspires one might bore another or maybe even repel another. So we are meant to be strong enough to deal with this realm in the ways that are appropriate for each of us. And of course, that's going to be different for each of us. We are meant to evolve, and we're meant to evolve life and with life. We are meant to merge opposites, just like that subatomic model. We're not meant to avoid all of the opposites in life. And this is why we focused specifically on that topic last month. So, how can you engage new beginnings and endings so that even though they seem linear, you're merging them into a connection, really honoring that overlap? And this is part of our linear creativity because it's especially intertwined with that topic that we focused on last month, unknowns and opposites. So, an aspect of this that I want to focus on this month is most specifically how we mentally separate our beginnings and endings because of linear time. And we're experiencing something that hasn't ended yet, or if we're not experiencing something that hasn't begun, that is the obvious linear process. So consciously blending that with the subtle realm rules means that you're feeling into that non-linear experience as well. You're feeling into those potentials, giving them focus. Where attention goes, new potential grows. So, this application of the focus of endings and beginnings is how you're starting to engage that infinite mind. So, as you're experiencing a beginning or an ending in life, you are also merging that with its opposite. Maybe it's a new inspiration, or you've just had an experience. You've taken in some information, and maybe it's even something that you didn't like. Give your subtle focus, your infinite mind, use that to focus on the other. So if it's a beginning, what is the ending potential that I'm building and weaving into this, and vice versa? Now, I want to talk about the light language and crystalline soul healing transmission. And then I'm going to give you some more practical steps for applying this, because the light language really reflects this with a lot of clarity. And by the way, I'm teaching light language online. This is the last time this year. That class starts on September 9th. So I hope you'll join me on the 9/9 for really in-depth learning of how to speak, write, sing, sign light language. We go through the foundations of understanding light language. It's a really profound experience of your nonlinear nature. So I hope you'll join me. You can visit my website, jamieprice.com, for more information about that class. Also, there was actually some major animal energy around this transmission that I'm actually going to talk about in an upcoming newsletter because it's just too detailed to go into here. So there is a link below that you can sign up for my newsletter if you haven't already. Where have you been? So let's talk about the transmission. So what was so profoundly obvious was Earth physical support and sky non-physical support. And I was shown this as the heart receiving information from the earth and the earth experience, or from below. Then I saw the heart receiving nourishment from the subtle, or from above, which fuels that earth inspiration. Now, of course, I'm separating these for clarity, but of course, the earth nourishes and the cosmos inspires. Our heart is our infinite flow. So, to access the infinite mind, or to receive that infinite fuel of creation, we connect the linear mind with the infinite heart. That infinite mind follows the infinite heart. Your heart is already resonant with the flow of infinite. It's timeless. Your mind is where you perceive time. So to move that mind into that deeper resonance, that's how you start to tune in to that infinite mind. And of course, you can watch that Cosmic Consciousness Ascension deck reading from late June for more information on that. To really receive both of those, you want to love the inspiration that you receive from this earthly life and recognize it as such. This is inspiration from my heart. It's not just a problem, it's an inspiration to one that knows their inner power, their creative harmonic, that knows life wants you to thrive so that it can flow through you boldly. Also, love the support that you receive from life. Take in the sun, the moon, the stars, the air, the infinite, the subtle. Recognize it as part of you. Use it to blend the physical experience of endings and beginnings with the nonlinear understanding of inner creation. You bring it here by being it here. Now, the practical application. We are learning to value that subtle bridge and to follow our hearts more and more. And when you experience or you recognize a beginning or an ending, also consciously recognize its opposite. You're continuing to build on all of these topics that are opening up that infinite mind. So for a beginning, what ending do I want to feel? For an ending, what new beginning do I want to feel? And then put your feelings there, put your attention there. And I've said, what do you want to feel so that you will focus into the broader experience of it rather than the details of controlling it. This also helps your infinite heart energy flow more strongly, which of course is your strongest electromagnetic field. You're connecting those endings and beginnings through your heart, and that infinite mind will follow. And when it interjects to tell you that it's not possible, or it frustrates you with figuring out the implausible details, soothe it into relaxing, which will soothe it into receiving, which lets that infinite mind start to flow. Life wants to thrive through you. That is the natural flow of life. You are life. Anything else is temporary because universal law supersedes and encompasses physical law, even though physical law still matters here. Life evolves toward love, its core. And it doesn't always seem like it in physical time, but become one that understands the intricate beauty of linear time and the infinite beauty of nonlinear time. It's reflected in your inner realm through the endings and beginnings of each breath you take. As you inspire earthly life into you, as you weave opposites through the love within you and exhale the unknown information into this world, it's more powerful than we often realize because it's invisible at first. And it takes the open eyes of awareness to see it. Your infinite power is invisible at first. Look within. I hope you have a magical July and enjoy the light language.
Mema na remat adabchara krailel rinin. Mnema suk roratam cherut. Bremema a krandat nam suk kar ukorat and it sut sharat akrail remat shayerumat inim. Brem kan kraerat handit, bre hatiet et set sharot ono kroeruma, bramak al rnen such brim hetieret, kraer antarat a su chanand, kamang kraerat al rnen steirumet sum chand, nem hakrandat Huemet an satchairet eklel rmat such an chakrandat ia. Isenen shur mem sukrort al renendet a neem. Ram ka stairut such anakrad air sum chark mem an cheret il renen. Bremar an such or krendet karam hakraelel renen such or tantiar. Damor akrael arnan such chanot an sukrurmem. Krandat handet uret elernend insu. Wana stairut sum charukrandat ham brem hakrandat an such uretend. Klel armenshor mat san shat kraerat an namot sum chairumat elsa klel arnar antot ua. Hisana Jesur anstandot oa kanat am sukrer mat inshorum, bral hernindet san shatogrot antat, groremep ano sun steiruma, sanat kral hermat, iet san sharat akraerur, remat arel renen such amnen. Krar o kor krandat ham sakror tel renastayim, ma rut kanut kremat sanat krael hrini Stenen sum chanut an krandat kral rananat an such anot an krendet horemet iet sam krol lelemet. Bram an sharut unun sokoret. Harantand en sokorime. Saman standut krandat al. Tamor anad san shairumak randat iret karet okrorma. Sum charaknandat hamdia krel renend. Tamat anod nandut sokorend. Kam stairumat san chakrandat al renend. Wam ka su shan henen ukwa. Kuama an shairut orat. Karel hrenan sachandot Amneas groren chan enenet inum branat aankrayat. Kanant hansachat grel renener sokormet brandat him shokoren. Hana andat kramat ansuch krel kenen hetiet sum akrurat han aratat im ka. Son som charakraim andharat kel romacham am atsanandand. Aner andat akraerut karum astor an sancharum. Brem krandat al renen satcheret anand Brem hakrut andur krandat Krur mat brem not so charuma. Chanont krur tant irunab Kranet central renene tamat akroret and krur taul aranat at such krem krandat aranet such Brema krandat al renot ka ut and at sancharat Krandat hinehena. Dano sanchar ka atsaya otshum ka kuama kamsokua kuamsa kiemshdet sanatand krad adand bakrayandan wamusakayim jam ka kramat